So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the best settings for your GoPro Hero 5 Black. I don't know if you have one of these. They've been around for a good long time. But yeah, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can set it. It's going to depend on what videos you're shooting. But I'll show you how to set it if you're going to be vlogging with it, or also the settings that's best for doing sports. So stick around. Alright, welcome back. So on the GoPro Hero 5 Black, that is, what you see is I have, well, the 2.7 K down here is what I use for vlogging mainly. Well, basically the resolution is 2.7K. I use it for just about everything. Reason being is I drop it down to 180 and it will let me do the stabilization. And if you go 180, it won't be quite 180. So I go to step it up to the 2.7, and that way when I turn on the resolution, on the over here under video stabilization, you cut it on and see it says crops wide field of view 10%. Well, if you're videoing at 1080, obviously you're not going to have a 1080 video. So I go 2.7. My frames per second I do 24 just because it's a lot better as far as making it look normal, like what your eyes would see motion wise and whatnot. Now this is not for sports. You know, for sports you're going to want to cut that up. And then I use linear because a lot of the different settings gives it too much of a round setting, like the wide for instance. It makes things, well, you can't tell it good on this with where I'm at here, but it curves the screen too much for my liking. So I keep it down here on linear. And then on this, if you're new to GoPro, just use GoPro as your color setting here. And on your Pro Tune, not Pro Tune, what am I trying to say? Shutter is auto, white balance auto, sharpness I do medium, just because I don't want it to look artificial. And then on audio, I do high. That way it records at a higher compression and higher. It does the best settings for audio. Anyway. And then the ISO I do about a 400 because on the 2.7 that's about the lowest you can go. Maybe on the camera itself, I'm not even sure honestly, but I do it at 400 on the ISO, and that is basically it. Video stabilization's on. If you're in low light, you can turn on the auto low light. Actually you can't on the 24. You'd have to step that up to 30 frames per second, but that's if you're in low light. I'm not normally in low light, so I don't normally worry about that. Manual audio control I leave turned off. I let it do its audio stuff itself. And if you'll use those settings for vlogging, that's about the best you're going to get. Alright, now on sport mode, or as far as if you're recording sports and want to do a high frames per second, or a high frame rate, basically I turn it up to 90, which you have to drop down to 1080, which also, if you'll see over here, gets rid of your stabilization. So, because of the frame rate. And also don't let you have anything but wide, which sports, you know, that'll be okay, I guess. But it's not my top preference, but that's going to be your best settings for if you're doing like any kind of sport recording where you need a high frame rate. So 1080, 90 frames per second, wide angle. These are always going to be auto, medium on sharpness, and the audio is going to be high with the GoPro. If you want to tune your colors and saturation and all that separate in post-production. Like when you're editing, you can turn this over to flat. But I normally just run GoPro because it saves me some time in editing and where I don't have to worry about that. But video stabilization, like I said, you don't have the option. Auto low light is on. You can leave it on. That way if you're in low light, it will help a little. And manual audio, like I said, I always leave it off. So that's what I set my GoPro to when I'm doing sports. And then when I'm doing vlogging, I go over to 2.7K. And I drop this to 24. And my field of view, I go to linear. And that's all there is. Video stabilization's on, auto low light's off. And that's where I keep it, like I said, most of the time, because mostly I do vlogging with it. I don't do much sports. So anyway, I hope this video's helped you. If you like the video, like it, or hit the like button, and comment if you have a comment. And if you will, subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot.